What a vibe. You were listening to an insert from an interview Kulus Kenjana did with Tulani Mtsweni. If you just tuned in, this is Active Space's insightful conversation with me, Rose Rataha, standing in for Ayanda and Kulu. Don't forget, we love hearing your opinions. Do let us know which actor you would like us to bring and the topics you would like us to discuss. We are at Active Spaces on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Ayanda caught up with Mposibeng chatting about the craft of acting and performance, his experience in the industry since a young age, and getting to know the man himself. Enjoy the snippet of the podcast.
What up, Mpo?
Good, bro. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Finally, this happens.
Yeah, finally, bro.
Yeah.
No, it's been long overdue.
It has really. I've been going on about you, and the one most important thing, I'm just gonna jump into it with the little time we have. One thing I just highlighted about you, and I want you to tell us really, how did you achieve this? Most of the time, we've got young actors that come into the industry, and they fail to sort of transform from that child star to becoming, like, you know, taken serious as an actor, or things happen, some it's drugs, some it just doesn't sort of continue and stuff like that. How were you able to sustain playing a young kid on Zero Torrents, Soul Buddies, to playing like a matured character now as Neo on Ring of Flies? How do
I think well, when you get into the game, yes, you love the craft, but it's more of a just doing it as a hobby at the time. So at the time, you don't necessarily take it serious, but the older you get, I think in order for you to have staying power, you have to hone your craft, work on it. I think once you decide that, you know what, this is something that I want to make a career out of, that's when you start taking it seriously, and then start taking yourself seriously in the art as well. Yeah.
Key there being career, because most people just get into it for, I want to be famous, like you say, it's a hobby. But I think the key is turning it into a career.
Correct.
And how do you do that? How do you decide now, this is now work? Does it feel like work?
It doesn't. It doesn't feel like work, right? But for me, the work part comes in the commitment. Me being committed to the art form, me being committed to the craft, me trying to make sure that I give my best each and every time I step on whatever set. So that's where the work part comes in. But while I'm at work, it's not work, it's breathing. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like second nature.
Beautiful.
I feel like, if you don't follow, and if you don't do your talent, or if you don't follow out your purpose, then that's the biggest sin that you make, because then you miss your mark. You miss your mark by not following what your purpose is.
Wow, you miss your mark. That's so powerful. And the gap between, because you still fall under the young actors. I think you're very young, and you're doing amazing things.
Thank you so much.
Do you think there's a gap between the young and the old actors? But like, is there a gap there? Like, like I've been on set and I've seen like a young actor working with like this legend, and obviously you see the admiration from the younger sort of generation at times. But do you think is there a gap there in between? I know I'm jumping from that to that. Do you think, is there a gap there?
I think, to be honest, in the industry we work in, we are very lucky, because I mean the gap rather is bridged very quickly. I mean, people get there and they all know they're there for work, but in as much as the young actors would give the older actors that respect, the older actors are just as playful, because I mean that's what we get paid to do, right? We get paid to work and to show real emotions, but everyone is as playful as you are. So you get there and you gel. I think the only way to bridge the gap is if they see that you respect the art form as well. If you don't, then they'll see the difference.
I think that's the core, right? Respect for the craft. And I think I've been saying to my team and stuff that's what we exist as Active Spaces, is to really bring the respect to the craft, to the profession. Like, guys, this is a professional. So you're very right. If we're on set, we're working, the core, the main fundamental there is, let's respect what we're doing before anything else. That's very profound. And then they're doing the hand signals and stuff like that of time. Guys, we just started this conversation. All right. Tell me this. In terms of celebrating actors, I mean, our industry is growing, which is amazing. I think it's the best time for the industry. And I'm very excited about it. I think every second actor is working. I don't know if they're getting paid enough, but I know they're working.
True.
So tell me something in terms of actors being celebrated. Do you think the craft? Just before I started the show, I was talking about the Global Citizen festival, and I was asking the power of actors. Like, do we as actors like have the same power that musicians have? But that's another question. But do you think the craft is celebrated enough for us to have that power that musicians have?
That's a
I don't know.
very, very, very good question. I won't lie. Look, I think as actors we have a very big social responsibility with the stories that we tell on screen and whatnot. But I think maybe what dilutes the art form is people coming into it for the fame and coming into it to become celebrity-like or celebrities, because then people end up losing the respect for it. So then that's why we don't have as much power as musicians have. Unlike musicians at the moment have a lot more power than actors do. However, we have the bigger social responsibility. And I feel like some people just aren't taking it seriously and aren't committing and aren't working towards, building a better future for everyone and build a better country for everyone.
Shucks, I think it's time. Actually, as an industry, I think we need to be selfish now.
We definitely have to.
Like, really be selfish with the space. And I think, and I think this goes in the music industry. You don't just wake up and you've got like you there and whatever. Unless obviously you've got that hit song that makes you sort of penetrate the hit waves and stuff like that. But I think with acting, we're not selfish enough. I think as an industry that you can't come in if you don't have all the qualities. How do we put that border there? Should we even put that border to say, not everyone can just wake up and do it?
Yeah, we definitely should. Look, with music, the one thing is that they put everything in the music. So let's put everything in the story and tell the story. I mean, there's so many platforms right now that are available to us. We need to use whatever platforms we have to tell the story. And I think just by doing that, then people will start understanding how difficult and how it's not just easy and how not everyone can just jump into it and become a celebrated actor. You know what I mean? It's deeper than that. It's storytelling. It's a calling that you need to answer and deliver.
Wow. Talking about storytelling, are we telling the right stories? Are we? I was talking to Camilla the other day, and we were talking about theater, and I said to her, why is theater sort of running away from like young people and stuff like that? And she's like, no, it's the stories actually that are told in these theaters. Young people can't relate to them anymore. They're not telling what's happening now. In terms of storytelling, are we narrating like the right stories? Is there such thing as the right story?
I think on television right now there is definitely room for that, and I think because of so many shows that are out right now, there's a space. There's a definite space for young actors, to showcase their talent and showcase their craft. So I think bit by bit, we're growing. But like I said, we need to use our own platforms. I mean, if we're going to complain that the stories that we want to be told aren't being told, let's tell them ourselves.
Let's tell our own stories. Let's own it. Let's own our own stories. All right, we're going to just take a quick break. After that break, I want to ask you, man, what does acting mean to you? Like, if the young actor there is listening now, like they want to know, what does acting mean? I want you to tell us that after the break. Just a short break. Cool stuff.
Making a bold statement yet blending into the surrounding suburbs of Melville, 27 Boxes is a realization of edgy design and practical implementation. A radical departure from the shopping malls of our generation, yet not a return.